Hi guys, I really hope this video isn't out of date by the time you see it, because things are moving extremely quickly in British politics. We had Angela Rayner resign, we had the Prime Minister defend Peter Mandelson at PMQs and then sack him the day after. And Morgan McSweeney, the Prime Minister's senior advisor, is on pretty thin ice. Now, Nigel Farage, of course, is trying to take advantage of the situation, as you'll hear here.
Yes, oddly, I was with Lord Mandelson last Tuesday when I was in Washington. I mean, look, he's an enormously talented bloke. Of that, there's no doubt. You know, I dealt with him when he was a European Commissioner 20 years ago. But to have appointed him to that role was a serious misjudgment from the Prime Minister. We don't yet know what the intelligence briefings would have said, but it looks as though Morgan McSweeney, the Prime Minister's right-hand man, and the Prime Minister ignored the warnings, carried on. He was then reluctant to get rid of Mandelson, and he's now left himself in a very vulnerable position with the rest of the Parliamentary Labour Party. It is about the Prime Minister's judgment, but it's also about the role that Morgan McSweeney plays in this government.
What do you think should happen next then? You've mentioned Mr. McSweeney a couple of times.
Well, I think, have a look at the reshuffle. I mean, have a look at the number of staff that have come and gone already in the first just over a year of this government. A lot will depend who they pick as deputy leader, but I think McSweeney's role is now considerably in doubt.
OK, and in the interests of clarity, did you earn any of the money used by your partner to buy that house in Clacton?
No. Listen, can I be clear about this? The money was legally hers. The estate agents and everyone did the know your customer rule checks. It was her legal money. She bought the house. The deeds are in her name. Council tax is in her name. I don't have any financial stake in it whatsoever, other than she lets me stay there. But then given that I'm her partner, that's not really that unusual.
And at no point then did you...
Okay. So, because allegedly Nigel Farage had said that he had bought a house in Clacton because he was going to be the MP. But I want to go back to the Morgan McSweeney thing, because I think we're going to see Nigel Farage's problems with taxes and houses and stuff rumble on for a bit. But the Morgan McSweeney one is, well, this is an opportunity for reform, of course, once again. Reform have a lot of problems with their vetting process. We've seen it on a number of occasions. But this is damaging for the Prime Minister. He needs to get rid of Morgan McSweeney. He's no good as an advisor. He may have been pretty good when it came to campaigning, but when it comes to advising the Prime Minister at this stage, he has to go. He was the one who was pushing, it seems, to double down on the two-child benefit cap, on the winter fuel allowance, which were deeply damaging, and of course in one case the government have U-turned. He was supportive of Peter Mandelson, even though Mandelson was sacked twice before, and we knew that there were some dodgy dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. But the Prime Minister took advice from Morgan McSweeney and said, OK, let's support the ambassador. And then the very next day, after PMQs, he sacked him. This is sounding more like what the Tories were doing towards the end. This should not be happening to a government at the very beginning. It points to a situation where there are people in the party at very high levels who don't understand politics. They don't understand that you need to focus on ordinary people. You need to focus on policies that benefit ordinary people. If you want to hold on to power, it can't be about slogans. It can't be about gimmicks or tricks. It can't be about putting on a hard hat and appearing at a building site. You have to actually deliver policies that will improve people's lives, because if you don't, they will kick you out. And all Farage has to do is sit by and allow the government to implode. But it's good that he's challenged on things like his house or his taxes, because if he gets into power, he will have to be scrutinised then, but then it would be too late. The public will realise, hey, wait a minute, who the hell did we elect? So it would make sense for the public to know a bit more about Nigel Farage and his tax dealings before. He has refused to release his tax returns, his personal ones. He says, yeah, I'll talk about the party, but I won't talk about my personal tax returns. What has he got to hide? This point needs to be reinforced by the media. He needs to be grilled on this, because he could become Prime Minister one day, and we know that he has some dodgy dealings when it comes to the United States, when it comes to think tanks, when it comes to donors. We know that he's not completely transparent. We know that he has something going on behind the scenes. This needs to be front and center. He needs to be challenged on these things. And I apply this to all politicians. All politicians should release their tax returns so that the public can understand who they truly work for. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.